Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm happy to have you here today with me. We're gonna do another collective reading. So take what resonates, leave the rest for your neighbor, because what doesn't resonate with you is likely for them. Okay, I'm going to be using the Klimt Tarot deck as well as the Pure Magic Oracle, and I have some of my own Oracle cards that I might dive into as well. I might use the dice. We're just gonna see, alright? I've already been picking up on a song as soon as I open the space. Whoa, cover your crystal eyes and leave the darkness. Oh, that's Crystals by Of Monsters and Men. And so there we go. All right. Go ahead and grab a drink, a snack. I've got coffee, whatever you need to get cozy, chill, and hang out. I'm really excited to begin the flow. I love getting into the flow. I love building this community up. And yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and read these lyrics. Lost in skies of powdered gold, caught in clouds of silver ropes, showered by the empty hopes, as I tumble down, falling fast to the ground. I know I'll wither, so peel away the bark, 'cause nothing grows when it is dark. In spite of all my fears, I can see it all so clear. Cover your crystal eyes and feel the tones that tremble down your spine. Cover your crystal eyes and let your colors bleed and blend with mine. Making waves in pitch black sand, feel the salt dance on my hands. Raw and charcoal colored thighs feel so cold and my skin feels so paper thin. I know I'll wither, so peel away the bark. Da-da-da-da. Cover your crystal eyes and feel the tones that tremble down your spine. It says, but I'm okay in see-through skin. I forgive what is within. Because I'm in this house, I'm in this home all my time. Whoa, whoa. Cover your crystal eyes. Okay, guys. This is interesting. This is pointing to a lot of different things for the collective message. One of the big ones is magic. Okay, what I mean by magic, when I say that, I mean, reading that, I saw sound healing. I don't have my tuning forks with me right now, but even in these audios, I do frequency adjustment just to open the space and keep the frequencies clear and resonant. Feel the tones that tremble down your spine. This is all about opening up to the medicine. 333. This is all about allowing. It says, let your colors bleed and blend with mine. It's like, can you truly open up? Can you open up? And I just heard that song, let me open a window. And I just paused the reading to open the window for my kitten. And she's just staring out of the window now, listening to the neighbors' wind chimes. Okay, guys. I'm okay in see-through skin. I forgive what is within. This is all about finally having the courage to be seen in some situations. So this is what we're going through collectively. And the fact that it says, whoa, cover your crystal eyes. This shows me the potency of the collective as we are crystals, or we have crystal eyes. Okay, guys? My coffee. I tried some new coffee beans today, and they taste a little burnt. But we're going with it. Okay, guys. So there's definitely an opening happening. I just, in my mind's eye, saw a sprout coming through concrete. It's the collective is realizing we're not meant to do anything alone. There are journeys we're meant to walk on our own, but we're not meant to do anything alone. Okay, that distinction is very important. I'm staring at my Saturn ritual oil now. This feels like a very big karmic lesson that has to be learned about how to coexist, how to be vulnerable with others, whether it's in community or a relationship. There's a stress on interdependence that I'm picking up on. And this also feels like a wave of healers waking up. So there could be a lot of people right now in the collective kind of going through the shaky part of the spiritual journey, where you're trying to figure out what to do with all the information that you now have. Okay, there's kind of like a trajectory that we get placed on when we wake up, and it has a journey. All along the way there are these like stops or shocks, and we either evolve the shocks or we get frozen there, and come back in another life to remember again. But the reason you guys need to know this is a very spiritual message, but remembering everything that we see is but a dream within a dream. That's an Edgar Allan Poe quote. Okay. You guys could, if you haven't seen Inception, watching Inception, to remind you of the power of your mind, reminding ourselves of who we really are outside of our names, outside of our identities. Who is it that I am? Okay, this is all about I am consciousness, about who we truly are at our core. And learning to also trust that every reflection around us is also a part of God showing us something. Even the really negative things, negative to you might not be negative to somebody else. I'm seeing there's something about have somebody with a very potent, haunting voice. It's like either what you talk about, the way you talk about it, or what you're saying, or who you are just shines through your voice or what you're saying, that is haunting. Like, what I mean by that is it moves people and it stays with people. And it might be actually triggering because it makes people start to think. So it's like the energy of collective is penetrative into the fields of others. Not in a unconsensual way, but more in the way of that, like that frequency and vibration. Remember, a higher frequency will always bring the lower frequency up to resonate with it instead of vice versa. It's just how things work. There's something about innocence, and I'm seeing crayons. There's something about coloring in your life. The collective, we might have put certain bullet points into what it is that we desire, but now it's time to get creative and color it in. So we might have said, oh, I want to be a homeowner, and now it's time to color it in. How many bedrooms do you want? What kind of bathtub do you want in there? Do you want a state-of-the-art air filtration? Like, you know what I mean? Like, get detailed, color it in, guys. Not only because it's worth it, but also we learn what we want and don't want when we spend time on something. Okay. So that's another message for some of us. It's time to do a bit of a cleansing spell where you, along this journey, maybe reclaim your power back from certain things that you unconsciously or consciously gave them away to, just in general. Okay, so that could be that magic I'm picking up on. It's like, you know, all of a sudden you have this strength from saying a prayer or a spell that recalls your energy back from somewhere that you put it, you buried it, or gave it away, or it was taken. I'm hearing that song from Wicked that's like, loathing, boom, 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 ding. I'm just seeing this emphasis on two sisters, just like a race car went by. When I said that, there's something about sisterhood that is being healed. So right now the triggers are starting to come up. I feel like the triggers have been coming up, but you guys are starting to see the thorns that were embedded to numbness, meaning like they hurt when they first happened, but they've been stuck for so long. Collective has forgotten they're there. So they're going to be triggered. You're going to be triggered to remember. And it's all going to happen really fast. Alright, I'm going to burn some sage. This could be a blood sister. This could be business. This could be community, whatever it is for you guys. But there's something about... I'm hearing like it'll all come out in the wash. Alright, when we put things in the wash, they're normally really dirty. And a wash cycle is normally like between an hour to an hour and a half, right? So it happens really quick. And all of the stuff comes out, right? Sometimes there's stains left. Sometimes you gotta do another load. Alright, so this is metaphorical. I'm hearing someone say like, well, I don't want... Yeah, whoa. That song said, let your colors bleed and blend with mine. Because I just heard, well, I don't want my clothes in with their clothes. Like, I don't want to mix all of it up. Spirit says, like, at the end of the day, moving on is moving on. Like, water is water. Like I'm seeing, it's not different from coming to a collective body of water and both getting in and both feeling cleaned by the entity of water. There's something about the numb wound that's triggered by... It's almost like a claustrophobic energy where it doesn't want to share. It doesn't want to get messy. It doesn't want... It's very interesting. Okay, guys, this coming out in the wash is... You have to trust the water, alright? And so what that means is the emotions. Okay, so coming out in the wash is like, you know, we have emotions that build up. And emotions are valid, but not all the time are they based in truth or fact. Like we can have... There's such thing as an emotional truth. right? So we have to remember that when we are purging like really heavy emotions, especially where someone we really care about may be concerned, that we have to like hold two realities at the same time. One being that we are really hurt, but also that this person could be really hurt, or that we love them. And so there's an emphasis on, I see the collective moving towards forgiveness, but right now I'm just seeing acceptance being brought into the field, where it's like acceptance is creating a energetic body of deeper reciprocity. Okay, and then later down the line, if collective so choose to forgive and practice that alchemical process, then you'll see even more deep transformation. But right now what I'm seeing is just this realization that there's been a thorn in the side, or realizing you've been blind to something that is asking for your attention. The reason it's all coming up right now is because it has to do with what you're manifesting. Something your conscious mind is manifesting is coming into conflict with something the unconscious mind is manifesting. So while you're trying to manifest, again, it could have been like that house we were talking about, or anything on your scripting list, or anything in your mind that you're manifesting in the conscious mind. We have to remember that it also takes looking at the darkness, at the shadow. This is all what subconscious mastery is about. You can't look at one without looking at the other. I always say, and this is on my website, for the work that I do, which is not linked here, guys, but I'll just say it. I say it takes 3 things to heal. Your higher self, you, your conscious self, and your fractured self, your pain. So your healed self, you right now, and your fractured self. Okay, it takes all 3 of those things coming together to actually heal. So I'm seeing the collective being honest with ourselves about how words have affected us, because these words are actually the thorns in the side. And it's okay to get I don't want to say ruthless, but it's okay to have really strong boundaries. And maybe they weren't there yesterday and you meditate on them and they're there today. But it's okay to learn the boundaries that you need, or also require other people that are you're in relationship with to learn your boundaries. And there's even an emphasis on learning your language. You guys could have been on a very spiritual journey. You guys could actually be learning another language, whatever it may be. This could be metaphorical or literal. It's like there's people around you that are now needing to meet you where you are, which requires you to pause actually for a moment and stay where you are, which is not a bad thing because there's acceptance in this field here. I'm picking up on a lot of drama, like false narrative. It's like when you have the sisters thing keeps coming up, and I have sisters, so I relate to this, guys, but it could be anything. It's like when you have sisters, you know, you realize when you're way older that you're still having the same problems that you initially had when you guys were like very, very small. And I talked about this in a past reading where I taught and informed you guys about the energies of karma and karma vipaka. But all of that happens because of karma, to show us what our resistance in this life is. and what we're directly working through when we look at our familial patterns. Okay, but there's something that's like I just see source being like, this is so outdated, and I see like ancestors gathering around like, this is such an outdated thought program, and it's like the universe is trying to orchestrate a situation in which that is seen that it's an old thought program or an old paradigm. The universe is orchestrating a situation to where something, maybe it's one of those shocks we talked about where it's like, okay, maybe you get triggered back there into that state of mind for a moment just to see how far you've come, so you can finally put it behind you and move into acceptance. It's something like that, okay? A lot of you guys have been, if you pray or if you talk to the universe, a lot of you guys are really tired, and so your prayers have looked like, what the heck? Please help me, please show me. I don't know what to do. I'm tired. Okay, and not that you guys pray with expectation for certain outcomes, but I see the universe purposely trying to show you that it's not necessarily the energy you're in right now that's draining you, but this past thorn in your side. And so you're wondering, why am I so tired? I need a break. And the universe is actually like, no, like I'm actually about to fill your schedule with what you've been asking for. But what's tiring you is this thorn in your side that's actually a belief that comes from some experience or energetic exchange in the past where your mind deduced or induced something about itself that isn't true, something about itself or others that isn't true. Okay, and so don't mistake the roadblock for the road. Two, 22. Okay, guys, I just heard parapsychology, which is the study of alleged paranormal phenomena such as telepathy, clairvoyance, and whatnot. Okay, guys, so parapsychologists study extrasensory perception, near-death experiences, reincarnation, apparitional experiences. All right, well, this seems like what I want to study if I was to go to school, back to school. But anyways, this came through, and I'm getting that this is the collective, because it's not that we are studying parapsychology, although we kind of are, especially if you avidly listen to clairvoyant readers or channelers. But it's something that we understand. Okay, so it was interesting because I heard that and then I needed to pause because one of my animals needed something, and so I was meditating on it for a moment, and it's interesting that I'm feeling like some of you guys could start to have these abilities kick in a little strong. This could be something that's even dormant in your bloodline. For instance, it was with mine, and it took a few generations for it to come out, and then it came out through all 3 of my siblings because of trauma and neglect and abuse towards those who were gifted. It's a very real thing. I talk about it in the psychic class that I am creating because it's so important as an integral psychic practitioner that we understand the pain of those who came before us, and how really right now we're living in this time where gifts are online for people. And like when I mean online, I mean to the conscious mind, but I also mean simultaneously online, where you could pick up your computer and just Google local psychic, or within 5 minutes find a psychic online to start predicting things or uncovering energy about your life. Okay, so we're having to learn a lot of discernment, how to decipher who is legit. And it requires a trip to Hogwarts, right? Defense against the dark arts, potions. You have to understand the craft when we're working in that field. And I would venture to say, if you don't, then it may be good to just make a boundary and say, I'm not going to activate this gift right now. Okay? Because we do need to educate ourselves about the rooms we walk into. Okay. But this parapsychology is just showing me that this collective is extremely attuned to these subtle frequencies that are happening beyond the veil, beyond the surface. So you guys could have already been picking up and questioning, like, is this stuff happening because of me, or is this real because I've been working so hard anyways? And the universe is saying, it's both. Yeah, the devil. The devil card. Interesting, I chose this deck because the devil card in this deck shows a very scary mother dragging two girls by their hair. Yeah, this is about understanding it's a harder, deeper message. I'm having to open my heart for it, because when we're healing from this devilish energy, especially when it comes from a family member, it creates so much dissonance in our minds. This is specific. But what I was saying earlier with the channeled song about, having vulnerability to be seen. For some of the collective, you could be thinking, oh, I must be traumatized or numb from a past relationship, and that's why I can't open up now. And it's actually not about anyone you were with. It's about your mom. Okay, but that's a lot, and it doesn't have to be scary, and it doesn't have to feel like you're cursed. It's just simply like, oh, it's not what I thought it was, right? It's important to remember too, like, the devil is just an energetic expression of energy that is like false, or it's like a miscreation. What I mean by that is, like, nothing in this devil energy can like last forever. So when I was even talking about the bloodline thing, it's like, well, now we're here, bitches, and the bloodline is getting healed. It's like that those miscreations can't last forever, so eventually they pop up and the truth is revealed. So it's either throughout a long period of time or a short period of time, but it's like eventually the mask gets pulled off. Okay? And people wake up to the fact that their power was caged in these false narratives. So collective is really understand. This could come through having to learn how to be soft with yourself again. Especially if you're somebody who sadly missed out on connection in this way, soft connection. Like I'm seeing somebody brushing their hair and having a hard time brushing their hair every day because even that might trigger them for their mother wound. It's someone realizing that they do like putting on makeup, whereas or wearing what they want to wear, where they maybe used to not because of things a mother would say or expectations placed on you to be or fulfill a certain role. I'm seeing the knot in someone's hair being brushed out, and that's like this confusion being straightened out. Mother knows best. Listen to your mumsy. All right. Yeah, guys. There's a lot of energy of children becoming aware how they've been held their energy has been held captive and been siphoned. And it's not like you're coming up in opposition to it. It's like you're swallowing it whole and redefining it. So this is going to bring a period of okay, if the swords were there before, but you had something going on where you couldn't look at it. Now you see them and you're accepting it. Okay. Accepting that there's pain somewhere hurts because you have to feel the pain. Okay, so this is a more intense reading, but we have to remember in this life as humans, pain is a crucial part of the process. I almost said unfortunately, but I can't. I work too closely with God to be upset at God's creation, and that's just how things work here. Alright, so I'm even remembering like the story of Jesus dying on the cross. It's like that was a metaphor of this realm, right? Like the most, I mean, now, especially in this time in our culture, we define Jesus as like the most pure being who ever walked the earth, sinless and whatnot. All right, guys, I'm not saying these are right beliefs. This is just what's coming through. And it's not like he was famous and lived on a estate. Like, he died on a cross, guys. Like, this is a hard life. It's a very painful life. And the pain doesn't go away. We have to learn how to, it's like working out. It's like when you first start working out, that pain is so hard, but eventually you start to crave the pain of building the muscle, right? Because you understand what it's like shaping you into. This is all happening because some cycle didn't complete itself. It like fizzled, or like, I don't know, it like twisted out of range, or out of, I don't know how to describe it. This is all happening because there's like 10 of Pentacles I pulled with the devil. So there's an actual, because the 10 of Cups is like fulfillment within, you know, in the original deck resembles a family, and 10 of Pentacles is the same. But 10 of Pentacles is the physical. And so I'm seeing this like actually change within like the genetic structure. It's actual subconscious reprogramming instead of just ideas. Things that are not integrated into the subconscious don't affect the body. And we have to remember that the body is the mind. All of this change will come from learning that you're not meant to put people on pedestals, especially if you're if you see yourself as a healer or whatever it is you call yourself. in regards to what you do or the services that you provide, especially if it's spiritual. It's easy to put other people who maybe have achieved what you're looking to do on a pedestal. You're meant to be humbled by this. You're meant to see that nobody is perfect. And so if you're doing that, you will get those idols torn down. Okay. Because you're also not meant to place yourself over others like that. It's never been about this hierarchy. But that's all coming from this belief that's in the system from this mother wound. It's like a beast that wants to be fed. And rightfully so, right? One of the hardest things about being a mother is the disrespect that you take from children who you're providing for, who are unaware of the reality of the life the mother is living. And so there's things that could be said or done to feel like the mother needs to teach a lesson or prove something that actually end up causing a lot of pain and cause the child to want to look for a better example of a mother figure. What I'm seeing is like this failure time and time again, because collective is not meant to be putting things on pedestals. You can really love and support somebody, and even be extremely inspired by. But at the end of the day, we're all going to the same place. Whatever circumstance it is that is coming up in your life right now, that's bringing up the past, is because there's meant to be like a golden thread of truth sewn through the past, and you can't do that if you don't know what's there. I don't know what this is, guys, but I'm just gonna say there's something about a garage. My kitten just meowed when I said that. Florida water, natural form, enchanted potion, red roses, cleansing. I literally said something about potions, and I said something about cleansing too. This is meant to be a time of awakening. I'm hearing pins and needles. This is deep for some people. This could be through realizing certain health stuff. Take it how it resonates, y'all. And I'm never trying to project anything onto anybody. I'm saying things that come through. If it doesn't fit, it's not for you. Like, period. You're meant to understand how precious certain experiences are, because now that you're beyond them, they're just glimpses. Traumatic ones, although they are just glimpses, they feel like whole movies. But everything is simply a memory, and you're meant to understand how precious moments throughout time are. I'm seeing like all these different traumatic moments set up on like a crystal grid that activates someone's power. Drawing down the moon, divine feminine source channel, stillness. Yeah, this is all happening because you are divine feminine, and to truly alchemize in your entirety into that divinity we have to understand the journey of those feminines who walked before us, what we're still carrying of theirs, what we should set aside, what we should honor. Okay. But again, I picked up forgiveness down the road. So some people, you guys have to understand that. It doesn't mean just because you're embarking on a healing journey with this kind of energy doesn't mean you open the door and all of a sudden forgiveness needs to be had. No. There's acceptance, and then there can be space, okay? There's something about not putting so much pressure on yourself. Yeah, I just pulled power, strength, force, expansion. Yeah, there's something that you guys are holding on to this energy with so much strength. So, again, it's something in the past. You're not realizing that it's taking up all of your space. Something happens to where you do realize that. Could even be this reading. And then you're simply learning to let it go. There's a quote that's coming to mind. I think it's Alan Watts, but it's like, death is like unclenching a fist. Okay. There's also another one. It's like, death is like taking off really tight clothes. And I say that stuff about death because this is a death process here. What the energy that's being interacted with and what's on the table, what's on the altar here, it has to be grieved to be understood in entirety. But I'm seeing the before and after, and it does work. Alright. The cleansing does take things away. The element of water is super important for you guys. Super, super important for you guys. In whatever way that this comes through for you. It might be through physical tears. This might be through hydration. This might be through baths. This might be through walks and finding a water source and connecting with the entity of water in your area. As a means to also connect with feminine energy of that of earth, being able to tap into a consistent divine feminine energy that was there before and will be there after all narrative passes through the channel, which is your mind. Okay guys, I hope this reading brought clarity to your field and could assist you in some way with loving presence. I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys soon.